But that is not why you guys clicked on this video. I'm sure of that. You're wondering, what new car did I get? Well,
you got a piece of shit Miata.
No.
Oh, that's my car.
I got that. It's a 2004 XS 2.5 Forester in black. And this leads me to what I want to do to it, because there's no car gonna stay stock in my fleet. Now imagine this, with a little bit of a lift, some more aggressive all-terrain tires, a roof rack, a rooftop tent, a basket, a light, some tint, and some other things here or there. And there we go, the carpet is done. Check out all that dirty liquid. This is only from half of it. We emptied it before we did the other side. We have one more thing before we put the seats in. So these brackets are pretty rusty. So I'm gonna take a wire wheel, a drill, and a little bit of time. Okay, there we go, we have that guy. And what I'm gonna do before I put this one on is I'm going to quickly find something that threads into the hole, the BBSs and the mud flaps. Now we got two Subis, both with sets of mud flaps. I really think Subarus just belong with mud flaps. Here's the back. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks so good. And then from even farther back. Beautiful. Just like that, we have our tint done, so that didn't take too long. It was a pretty good cut along here, guys. This side's just a little bit wider, just in this spot right here. But again, these seals are so big, it's not really that big of a deal. That's what it looks like when it's all closed up. So as you can see, it's not extremely dark. You can still see through it, like I can see, but it is quite dark. We're gonna handle all that rust on the roof. If you guys know Subarus, you know that the roof paint isn't any good on them. Adrian's STI is rusting, the Forester's rusting. I think it's got a little tiny spot on the my STI, but today we're gonna be tackling the Forester. So all of these have been ground down to the bare metal. You can see like this one was really bad. There we go, we have everything taped up, and now it's time to take my rattle can of primer and prime it. And just like that, we're finally ready to put the paint on. So the paint on is actually custom blended ProPack stuff, so you can go order it. They have like the chip and then they'll compare it and then pick it. This is just the Subaru Black Mica, which is like the really cool gold's flake and whatever. So got it cleaned off, got a rag here in case I see anything just to quickly dust it off, but it's looking pretty good. That's what the roof looks like now that everything's removed. It probably looks real bad, and that's because, well, there's so much overspray that we're going to be wet sanding off that it's not too big of a deal, and then eventually polishing and so forth. But really, this protected the roof and got it so that it's ready to be modified. And just like that, we have no headliner. We're going to figure out how to put this. So I've actually been hiding this, and I've been teasing it a lot. So this is a roof rack, A or B roof rack for a thing. I still haven't said what the thing is going on there, but this is going to go on the Forester somehow. The reason Adrian's here is because he can fabricate. Mocked up the roof rack. Right now it's sitting on cardboard again, so you can't really see. But we're figuring out, we're kind of trimming the tabs off of each one of the mounts so that this can go in here. And as we planned last time, I don't know if you guys saw that video, there's a hole right here. So our mount goes directly below. Check it out, it's on there. Adrian, shake the car. Oh, rip. I would think it's pretty solid. And there we go. So we have our first batch of trim painted. And check that out. It is black. It worked out really well. We're going to be redoing the headliner because this is the gray headliner on the Forester. Honestly, it's not that good. It's got some stains. As you know, I'm going through the process of blacking out the interior as we did with all those trim pieces. So I thought, might as well do the headliner while we're at it. So we're going to be wrapping this with black fabric, obviously, if we're blacking out a Forester. And there we go. That was the last clip we needed to finish this all black interior. It is really dark, actually. I'm really impressed. It is a rooftop tent for the Forester. So that's the whole reason we put on the rack, is so we can put a tent on there and go do some overlanding. They fit perfectly together. So as you see, the tent fits pretty much like flush with this bar. So once we put the like cover on and actually have the mattress in there, it's gonna just push it out a tiny bit more and pretty much level it off on both sides. So I think the best way to do this is to hop on this rear wheel, grab the ladder, pull the ladder out, latch the ladder. I think that will work. And then oh yeah. Then we can just pull it like this. just go like that. And ta-da, it's literally as simple as that. And now we have a sweet little radio mount right there. Wow, that fits really well. I love that. Pull that out and you're good to go. Then it looks like you peel off this secondary adhesive layer, grab your screwdriver, and then all that's left is to screw it in if you've lined up the holes, which I might not have. And there you go, you have your mount all ready to go, and you can just drop your phone in like that. We're doing actually a couple of things. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be installing a transmission cooler. Because, well, when you're off-roading your Subaru, you want to make sure you don't overheat the transmission. Be a good time to change my transmission fluid with some Subaru OEM stuff, because I don't think it's ever been changed in this car, and it's a good idea to do that. Another thing we're changing is we're actually going to be putting in the this actual genuine Subaru transmission filter, and it is pretty good. It's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but I put another bracket down here and it mounts just to another hole. Check that out. We have our lights in our tent. They're actually really bright. But before we do that, let's just take a look at the A-arm. This is why you need to be checking your A-arms, because this was recalled. This was the recall issue, or why it was recalled, is it likes to rust through right here, and Subaru replaced them. Not all the cars were changed. Obviously mine wasn't. And there we go. So we got that A-arm in there, and it's all tightened up and all torqued to spec and cotter pins in, and it's ready to go. But before we go ahead and take the angle grinder to the Forester, let's talk a little bit more about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So, as I mentioned, we are chopping off the sway bars. There we go. There's one end of the sway bar and the cut I made. So now let's see if we can pull the other side off. And there we go. We got all the sway bars off. That was a challenge and a half. If you live in Canada where it's super rusty and you go to old Forester like this and you're looking to do it, this is the only way you'll be able to do it. I don't think you'll get half the bolts off. This car is like relatively clean for how long it's been driving and how old it is, but those bolts, all of them sheared off. I guess they're plugs in the frame. Well, we got all those bolts out and we got the old struts out. So this is what we took out. And as you guys saw in the intro, this is what we're putting in. And there we go. So we have now all 4 corners done up and tightened up. So the car is theoretically ready to be put back on the ground. Weight reduction, but not really. Okay. I'm like, just get some big pod lights.
Let me know if you want help.
Which bolts are which?
The not pointy ones.
These guys? Yeah, perfect. And just like that, we have both the lights on. Check that out. That looks so good. It's so much of the old school rally-esque, like big lights. So, and then with this button, we have the hellas. Today is the day I know a lot of you have been waiting for. Today is the day we finally get to put new off-road tires on my Subaru Forester. So we're going with something pretty aggressive. So that is a super aggressive wheel. And just as I thought, we have a little bit of a rubbing issue right on the front. And with a little bit of angle grinding and a little bit of paint, there we go. We have it all clearanced. And there we go. We have the tires on and the car is lowered down. Yeah, it's hitting. So time to fold the pinch weld. I think that hurt me more than the car, but as you can see now, we have no more pinch weld. It's pretty much flat with this. We cut the front mud flaps because, well, they were just rubbing way too much. After a lot of measuring and a couple misdrilled holes, we've got the one side on there. And there we go. So we have a box now. So we're almost done. One more thing, as I said, I want to put a shelf up here, but I'm really happy with it and I can't wait to go camping. Already got some adventures planned. Well, there we go. There's my build of my 2004 Subaru Forester, my overlanding build. This is only the first phase though. This was the phase to get me out there and get going. This isn't the end. I have lots of plans for the Subaru Forester, including some more cosmetic stuff, some more performance stuff, and eventually some really big end game stuff to see how far we can really go. If you guys are curious about my build or want to build something like yours, remember in the last video how I announced I am now a part owner of Flat4 Off-Road? You can contact us at our social media or on our webpage, or contact me at Schrader Labs and we can get you set up. Or if you're building maybe not a Subaru but another off-road rig, you can still reach out to us at Flat 4 Off-Road and we can get you set up. But that is going to be it for today's video, and that is it of phase 1 of my adventure Forester. So until next video, peace out and stay humble.